Hello there guys and girls! In this video I want to show you 5 reasons why you should try playing without HUD in Battlefield 1. Not many of you might know this, but I'm a big fan of the Battlefield series. For example, I put over 1200 hours into Battlefield 4, mastering every single primary and secondary, completing every medal and assignment there is. Kinda stupid, I know. Still, I didn't really make any videos about BF4 because I felt there was enough content about this game on YouTube. For Battlefield 1 I have the feeling that I can give you another perspective at the game, which is why I will be creating a few clips here and there. I hope you like that. Okay, now let's get started. The first reason to play Battlefield 1 without HUD is that the game just looks even more gorgeous. To be honest, I was never a big fan of the BF1 interface when the beta came out. The fonts and layout look more like Star Wars Battlefront than a World War I game. Sure, it looks really clean, but it kinda breaks the immersion for me. And look at all those icons floating around. In the past, even the little Dorito above the head was an easy way to see enemies. But those squares with the class icons in them, I think they are too much. Without all this clutter, the amazing graphics of the game really get their chance to shine. It looks more like an awesome action movie than a regular video game. You really get to appreciate all the little details they added in the environment that you would normally overlook due to the many icons in the game. The second reason to play without HUD is that the gameplay just becomes so much more intense and immersive. You will never know how intense it feels to sneak through a building with your pistol up, hearing footsteps upstairs. When you make that brutal takedown. Or running into a room full of enemies and clearing it with your pistol. That makes every single kill more rewarding than ever before. You really do feel like that soldier in the middle of an insane war. The adrenaline rush that goes along with it is just priceless. Also, this forces you to slow down your gameplay. When I first heard that the new Battlefield would be a World War I shooter, I hoped for a little slower gameplay than we had in BF4, but the pace now is still extremely high, if not even higher than before. Without the HUD though, you can't really run around the map like a COD warrior. You'll have to be tactical. And personally speaking, I love the slower gameplay, even if everyone else looks like they're on speed. Taking your time can be a big advantage too sometimes. The third reason to play without HUD is that it is a real challenge. So if you're new to the Battlefield franchise, you might have a lot of troubles without the minimap and icons on the screen. In that case, you should just play it the normal way. I'll have to admit, you'll have to be very familiar with the controls and gameplay mechanics for this to work. But if you're an advanced player or like experienced veteran looking to step up your game, you should definitely try this, even if only from time to time. Why is it a challenge though? Well, first of all, you can't 3D spot while everyone else can. You don't see spotted enemies on the minimap. You don't see where the flags are and if they're being contested. You don't even see from which direction you're being hit, or how many rounds you have left, or how much health you're at. At first glance, this all might sound like huge downsides, but they aren't really. For instance, if you see a soldier running and you're not sure if it's an enemy, you just hit the spotting button like you would normally. Your soldier will give a clear shout out like or something alike. Now you know that you won't waste ammo on a teammate. The same goes for the audio cues on operations, for instance. If you have to retreat as a defender, you'll hear loud bells until you're in the safe zone. As an attacker, you will hear this shrill whistle blowing and the screams of what feels like 1,000 soldiers. Or you'll hear the ticking sound when capturing a flag successfully. Also, there are some musical cues, like the ending music or this orchestra hit when an objective is lost. Sure, you might not be able to maintain a 4.0 KD and be maximum MLG pro, but that's not what Battlefield is about after all. The fourth reason to play without HUD is that it makes you so much more alert and aware for all the things DICE has done in the audio and visual department. Just look at how diverse the uniforms have been designed so that the player can always distinguish between friend and foe. Well, the only hard time you're gonna have is on Monte Grappa because Austro-Hungarian forces and Italian forces do have quite similar uniforms in terms of color. But I'll probably make a separate video on that. It's not only the uniforms that come to mind in the visual department. When you take an objective, it really matters to take a look at the flags that are hanging there. Same with vehicles. You'll have to check if a tank has the crescent moon, the Iron Cross, or the colors of the Union Jack on its side. The biggest visual factor though are the muzzle flashes and bullet traces. It makes 3D spotting completely redundant. You will be able to know enemies' locations just by where the shots are coming from, even if they're not directed at you. Probably the biggest factor is the audio department. DICE did such a good job here, I don't even know where to begin. You will hear teammates shout that an objective has been lost, that they need ammo or medical attention. You will hear the difference between gas and frag grenades landing near you. You will hear when your primary is going empty. You will hear enemies shouting upstairs or down in the trenches. The most important sound effect you'll have to watch out for is the one for the kill confirmation. This sound right here. Kinda like a glitch chime or something. That is how you know you can stop shooting the bad guy. And I promise, this sound is addictive. I am convinced that this kind of awareness for audio and visuals adds a huge value to the gameplay, because you mustn't only rely on your eyes, but also your ears. I would recommend that you play with good headphones though. That makes it a lot better and more enjoyable. The fifth reason to play without HUD is an indirect benefit which I noticed throughout the past weeks. There is no dirty talk. Without the chat box in the upper left corner, you feel so much better because you won't even notice all the salty people fighting over nothing. In Battlefield 4 I was a pretty decent player. I wasn't cheesing, I used all the guns and mastered them while still playing the objective and helping the team. Naturally, enemy players started flaming and hating on me or giving me accusations. This would sometimes frustrate me so much that I started justifying myself and in the end typing more than I was playing. This works the other way around too. Sometimes you do get angry and feel the impulse to offend your enemy in the chat box. I get that, I've been there. But without the HUD you cannot follow through with that impulse. You'll just have to accept the defeat and move on. Over time, it gets easier and easier to just move on and have fun instead of being mad. You will have so much better time. Trust me. So yeah, those were my top 5 reasons to play without HUD. But wait, there's more. There are a few downsides to playing without HUD. I mean, of course there are. For example, you can't really be a squad leader since you cannot use the command rows to give orders. That also means you cannot request ammo or medical attention. Also, you won't see which objective the squad leader wants you to attack or defend. But trust me, you will develop some sort of a sixth sense for Battlefield and always know what's going on. It is even better if you play with friends and talk to them on TeamSpeak. They can give you some more intel on which flag or objective to attack next. Remember, always stay with your team and be alert at all times. To summarize the video, I'd like to make you aware that turning off the HUD reduces the game to its very core. I feel like this is the way it's meant to be played. It feels like a trip back in time where games weren't about statistics, recognition or achievements, but about fun. And trust me, this game is fucking fun.